Happy Wednesday! Here we are back again. I am so excited because I get to talk to one of my friends today. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but I am so excited for today. There's a couple things I want to tell you guys as you start to come in, just so you're all aware. If you watched us yesterday, we talked with Rebecca Velasquez. She's doing the Edgemark cowl that we talked about, so you can go check that out. But in that video, we talked about the mystery bags. You guys are loving the mystery bags. We are officially sold out of 2 of them. We only have 16 left of the last mystery bag. So if you were interested in getting it, I think it was, oh no, maybe Jen can quick look. Jen, I totally forgot about this. I know I'm throwing this at you last minute. The mystery bags, I can't remember which one is left, but we can pull that link and we can put it in the comments so you can see the last one. But as of like an hour ago, there were only 16 left. So you got to get them if you want them because they're going away. They will not come back in the same format. We will do mystery bags again, but they're going to be completely different on what's inside and everything else. So if you want to get it now. They are all the same. So if you've already purchased, you don't have to repurchase again because you're going to get the same thing. So that's how that works. Hi, everybody. Hi, Angela. I just saw you over with Marley Bird on her Facebook, YouTube Live that was going on. Thanks for coming back over here. We have Heather here. We have Maria. We have Cindy. It is so great to see all my friends here. It's always fun to have you here. Okay. If you have questions along the way, throw them in the chat. We will answer them. If you're watching the replay, that's okay. Throw your questions in the chat. We will answer them. Jen is here on the back end. She is going to start throwing in some links. Oh, there we go. Currently, the only mystery bag left is the acrylic blend. Just a reminder, it's not just acrylic. It's acrylic blend. So it's like acrylic and something else mixed together so that you can try out some of those blends that we have. So there's the link for that. Oh, my mom is here. Hi, Mom. She's watching us live today. Hi, Gail. So great to have you. Hi, Wendy. Okay. Wendy says, unrelated to today, but I'm having trouble finding the Edgemark cowl. I have to double check. I think our link went up and we can pull that for you. If it's not up today, we will get it in and it will be in an upcoming email from us. So you will be able to see it. Or you can go over to Revel Crochet, which is Rebecca's website, and it'll all be there as well. The official launch is tomorrow. So then all the information will be up and ready tomorrow if you want to follow along. Okay, I was going to tell you about the monthly yarn sale, but you know what? I'm going to bring in our special guest because she's got a lot to say about the yarn, and I'd rather have her tell you instead of always just me raving about the WeCrochet yarn. So let me bring in our special guest. We have Hannah of HanJan Crochet. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, I'm so excited.
I am so excited. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Hannah is across the pond, I guess they would say, over in the UK while we're over here in the United States. And I have to say, I was one of the luckiest people ever that I got to spend a couple days with Hannah down in Florida earlier this year doing some brainstorming and planning for projects coming up later this year. Guys, I'm so excited about what is coming. We can't tell you because it's a surprise and it's being worked on, but it's coming and it's awesome. So yeah, it's always great to get to chat this way and be on a computer and see each other at least. But getting to meet in person is like a whole new level. Like you really get to see the person. And let me tell you, everything you see right now about Hannah is exactly how she is in person. It is so wonderful. I guess I'm total fangirl here, but yet I'm also like a friend now. So it's so cool.
We just had the best time, and you're so right, aren't you? Like being input, like you get much more in-depth conversations about not just crochet, but like just life, and you understand people more, don't you? And like, it was so wonderful, so wonderful. And yeah, I can't wait for the stuff that's coming that we can't say about.
Can't say. What we can say is follow along on WeCrochet, follow along HanJan Crochet, and then you'll know everything.
Yeah.
So we have Hannah today, not just because we love her so much, but because she is the March featured designer. She's our designer spotlight for the month of March. We are so lucky to get to partner with her. And before we jump in about learning about Hannah, let me just remind you all that Hannah has decided that we're going to do 30% off all of her patterns on the WeCrochet website that she has designed for the entire month of March. In the past, we've been doing short little pieces, you know, maybe 2 weeks or whatever. Nope, we're doing the whole month. You guys have the whole month to shop Hannah's great patterns, and you'll get 30% off. They're already discounted, so you don't need a coupon code. You don't need anything else. The price that's marked is the 30% off price. We've already done it for you. Throw it in your cart, grab your yarn, and get started. There's so many of Hannah's projects that I am in love with, that I've been working on in the background. I know this is going to sound really bad. I still have my Hawthorn tee
I was
that
going to
I'm
ask
working
you
on.
if you finished it.
So yes, technically I finished it,
Oh.
but I put it on
Oh.
and it was too big.
Oh.
So I ripped the entire thing back out, except for this, like,
Yes.
I left the sleeve panels, and then I re-picked up to start at the band. And
Yeah.
so I'm about halfway through the body, but you know, I kind of got a little distracted by some other pieces, but it will be finished for this spring, summer. But yeah, so it was finished, but now it's not finished because I
Oh,
want it to fit properly, you know, if I want to wear it. So
that's a good one. That being, well, it's kind of like panels, isn't it? And then top down in rounds.
yes.
Like you
Yes.
can, once it's past your bust, I think I did some decreasing on one of my versions as
Mhm.
well. So you can fit it to your waist as well, can't you?
I tried that,
Oh,
and I think I would have had to decrease too much that you really started to like, I don't
wibbly.
know, it started to get weird. So I was like, you know what? It's too beautiful. I don't want to mess it up. I just ripped it out and we're starting over again from that, like where
Yeah.
it changes over from the bust band down is kind of where I had to restart from. So we're going to do it. It's going to look beautiful. Speaking of tops though, let's talk about the one you're wearing. I know I said we were going to talk about you first, but who cares? Let's just talk about projects. The pattern that Hannah is wearing is a brand new pattern that just released in March, and it is a t-shirt, but you'll notice Hannah has a sweater over it because it's cold.
I'll show you. It's got. So I kind of designed this for summer, and loads of people have started making it already because it's in fingering weight. So it takes a while. So I thought if I launch it now, people will have time for the summer. But yeah, so you can put tiny little cap sleeves on, or they're worked in rounds, so you can just carry on. And I wish I'd now carried on because it's snowing here, so I could really do with sleeves. But that's
yeah.
hey
Yeah,
ho.
but I was telling Hannah too. Yeah, so there's the link for it. It's called the Mystical Tee. That is also included in the 30% off. So now's the time to get it if you're interested. And I was talking to Hannah that I love that it was cold today for her, that she could throw on a cardigan over top. Because most of the time we think of crochet like the way I have it, a regular t-shirt, and then you throw a crocheted cardigan or a crocheted pullover over the top. But really, you can make those t-shirts and tanks and have them last you throughout the year by just putting a regular cardigan over top, or even something that you make too, like depending on the colors and the textures. It's so versatile, and I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I suddenly thought, I was like, I have to wear it, but it's too cold.
Yeah. So we should talk. Oh, Angela says the top is adorable. I agree. It is a little hard to see here on the video, so please be sure to click that link. There is a wonderful texture to it that's like subtle, that doesn't really like bring a lot of attention, but it gives it just enough that it has the detail, and the way that it looks is beautiful. So please check it out and see how it looks, because it is really, really beautiful. And we should say it uses twill fingering. And yes, it's fingering, but it's doable. It is doable. It's beautiful. And twill fingering is on sale. Yes, we planned this. Hannah knew it was going to be on sale. But you can get the yarn 20% off and the pattern for 30% off in the same order, because there's no coupon codes. It's just priced as marked. And you can get your twill fingering, or you can get twill worsted, whichever one. Well, for the top, you need fingering, but you can grab both at the discount right now. So, Kayla says, I have in as the next project after the Mindful Makes, Cal.
Oh, that's so cool.
Do you want to just talk a little bit about the Mindful Makes, Cal, just since it was brought up?
Yeah, if that's okay. I am working. Lots of people probably know Brianna of Brianna Kay and Michelle of MJ's Off the Hook, who were the wonderful people that we got together with, didn't we, in Florida earlier this year. I am running a quick and simple crochet along called the Mindful Makes Cal to make hats. Really, really simple, straightforward hats. We launched on Monday, but it's going for the next few weeks. So please come and join us if you would like to.
Awesome. And I don't know if we put the link in there yet, but if not, Jen will throw it in there for Hannah's website. So you can go there and you can check out all the information that you're going to need. It'll have links to her Instagram, her Facebook, her YouTube, her everything that you're going to need to know about Hannah. So just go start clicking, liking, following, subscribing.
All of those things.
Yeah. You're just going to need to do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. So now that we've talked about your project, now that we've talked about your patterns, now that we've talked about like everything else, let's rewind.
Go back.
And let's just talk about, for people who don't know, how'd you get into crocheting and how did you get to turn it into a business? Because I know that's not what you started with in your career.
Most definitely not. So I have been crocheting probably about 12 years now, maybe. And it started because I basically had loads of friends having babies and I had knee surgery and couldn't do anything for about 6 weeks. I was living in like a first floor flat. I was going absolutely stir crazy. And so I made a granny blanket and I thought, well, that's a gift for a baby. That will do. And then I made another one and another one. And I literally could not stop. That whole thing that lots of people talk about and they were like, you literally won't be able to stop. I just couldn't. Then I realized by about blanket 6, I was like, oh, I don't like that like that. I'm going to change that. I'm going to, because I can't follow instructions. I'm really, really bad at following instructions. Like it drives me crazy, absolutely mad. So, so I just basically started ignoring everything and writing them myself. And then I started giving them as gifts and people were like, oh, where did you get the pattern from? All that kind of stuff. And then someone that I worked with, so I was a midwife for, well, I worked in the NHS for 18 years. And someone that I worked with at the time said, you should sell your patterns. There's this website called Etsy. And I'd never heard of it. I was like just completely oblivious. And so I thought, yeah, I can do that. So I made a PDF, put it on there and started selling. And that was it. I had no planning, nothing at all like that. And then I happened to be living in the city over here in the UK where Simply Crochet magazine was launching. So they launched issue 1 and they were looking for designers and they approached me. And I thought they were going to get me to make samples. I thought that's what they wanted. I didn't think they wanted me to design, but they did. And so there we go. I started designing from them. And then I made a website. Then I had more shops. Then I did this. Then I met you lot. Everything happened in sequence.
Yeah. Of course they wanted you to design for the magazine. What are you talking about?
I remember the first project I ever made for them. There were these teeny little coasters, like little lacy coasters. And they wanted 3, but I made like 12 because I was so scared. I was like, if they're not right, please tell me. I just like went over and above, like way over and above. And they were like, we can't use all of those. I was like, it's fine, just have them.
Yeah, so that is an awesome start and a story, and we're so glad to have you here as one of the designers that we get to work with and just in the industry. We think you do wonderful things and you help people expand their skills and learn new things. And I don't know, I enjoy your videos. A lot of times I'll take a peek at the video if I'm working on a project just to make sure I'm doing it the right way, which is always really helpful. And, I should say too, just because I know this becomes a question. So yes, Hannah is in the UK. Yes, her patterns are written in US terms. So you are fine to be able to purchase the pattern. There are notes throughout her pattern that say like, this translate into whatever in UK terms. So you have that right in front of you if you need it. But the rest of the pattern is written in US terms. So you don't have to try to convert things in your brain from a UK term over. You're good to go. Just start the pattern and get going. The only thing that I've noticed in Hannah's patterns that is different is that we call it gauge and she calls it tension. And that's the only difference that I've ever found in one of Hannah's patterns from anything else that I've been doing. So
it's so hard. I kind of so I've been doing this now full time for 2 and a bit years, and I just thought I need to make a decision about where I go with this. Like I know most of my audience are in the US. and if they're not in the US, they still understand US terms and gravitate towards US terms. So I was just like, I can't. So I did go through a period, and some of my old patterns will have UK and US terms written in full in both, and it was just exhausting.
Yeah.
And it really, they didn't need to be there. I just needed to pick one or the other. So
Right.
yeah, I do have. I'm still UK at heart, so I do spell color the way that I spell color and favorite and all of those kind of things. So forgive me for that. But yeah, if things don't make sense, please just ask me. Please ask.
Yeah. No, I've had no problems with any of her patterns. Like I said, I'm just joking around, but that's like literally the only thing that, not that I didn't know what it was, but it was just the difference was gauge versus tension.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much exactly the same as what you're getting in all other patterns. So
it was a massive learning curve for me doing videos over the last few years, transitioning to US, because obviously when you're filming yourself, you're actually crocheting, talking at the same time. And it's like rubbing, you know, doing the patting and the rubbing thing at the same time. I was like talking like in a foreign language whilst trying to get my hands, and I like so many outtakes of my videos are of me calling the stitch the wrong stitch, you know, going to UK terms or then back again. So yeah, it's been a big learning curve.
Yeah. Well, you're doing great. We're loving it. Keep it going. Let's see. Heather says she is originally from the UK, but now lives in the US. So I think she kind of understands what you're going through here. Awesome. Well, I do want to take a minute here. I see we have somebody else here in the chats that I think you might know. We have Veronica who said hello to us. So I think this is a great chance that we want to tease you guys a little bit to come back again, because Hannah has something that she's going to be sharing in 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, yes. 2 weeks time, Veronica and I are squirreling away, working away, because we are part of a massive network. You know, the crochet design world can be really lonely. And then once you connect with the right people, it can be absolutely amazing. And there are lots of us that really, really love designing crochet garments. And we have got together and we have something absolutely amazing coming. And I'm so excited. And I can't say any more than that, if that's okay. But there's lots of us and you're going to want to do it.
Yeah. And the one thing we can say about it is Hannah and Veronica are going to be back here with us live on the 22nd, and then you'll be able to know everything about it because they'll be launching it at that point. So make sure you set those calendars to come back on the 22nd, either to watch us live or watch the replay, but so you don't miss out, because you are not going to want to miss it. I'm so excited for this, and I can't wait. So I think everybody else is really going to love it. It's just another thing to have like in your crochet toolbox, or, you know, whatever else you want to say. It's just good. It's, to me, excuse me, here I go again. To me, it's always good to just keep learning new things and experience things with different designers. So I am super duper excited about it, and I can't wait to share on the 22nd.
And the thing is for me with HanJan at the moment is kind of embracing that community and finding what people want and need from me. And I think what people don't need is for me just to churn out pattern after pattern after pattern. People want community, they want to connect, and they want to learn. And the crochet world can sometimes be quite harsh, I think, can't it, of saying, no, you don't do it like that. You don't do it. They won't tell you how best to do it. Or there's not the kind of level of teaching that I think that there is perhaps in knitting. And I think that's what I'm pushing for. I'm pushing for to say to people that it really, really doesn't matter how you do it as long as it works for you. But these are some guidelines that might help you figure that out.
Yes.
It feels like I spent so many years myself making stuff, and then because I don't follow instructions, perhaps doing it not perhaps the best way, and then feeling like a failure. I felt like a failure for so long because I was told I wasn't doing it the right way.
Right.
And I don't want anyone to feel like that. You shouldn't feel like that, especially when it's something you love and you do it because you enjoy it.
Yeah, and I have to say too, I mean, crochet is one of those amazing things that because of the way we work the stitches, and you know, in knitting, you have all of the stitches live that you're working on, where crochet, you really only have one at a time. That's a live stitch that can start to unravel. There are different ways to do it. And there isn't really a wrong way to do it. It's just a different way to do it. And the whole point of continuing to learn and to be in these communities is to learn new ways to do things. And, you know, I'll be honest, I make patterns and sometimes I'll read the way a designer does it and I'll go, ooh, my brain is having a hard time processing that or having a hard time doing the decreases that way. But I know enough that I can swap things in and out to get the same look because I've learned from so many different people that I can figure out what works best for me and the way that I crochet. So I love getting to learn from new people and new designers and just kind of have that experience of what other people do so I can find the best for me to get the end result that I want.
Definitely, definitely. And it's all about confidence, isn't it? It's having
Yes.
confidence in yourself and confidence that, do you know what, it's okay.
Yep.
If you need to pull it out, you pull it out. You start
Yep.
again.
You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to shed a tear that you have to rip out the entire body of a sweater and start again.
No.
It's allowed to go into timeout for a little bit,
Right, like,
but yeah, that's the whole point of being able to do this craft is because you're getting garments or pieces that fit you and your style, and you get to do it kind of the way that you want to do it to make it work for you and what you want. I mean, just look at seaming. There's so many different ways to sew a seam together, but yet you're ultimately getting the same thing of putting pieces together, and you just learn from all the different people that are out there in the community. I love the community. In case anybody hasn't noticed that yet, this is like my favorite part of the entire crochet experience is getting to form relationships with designers, with customers, with people who are just kind of making in the industry. That's the best. These are just great people. They're people that get you in the community.
yeah. Because I think so many of us, unless you're very lucky and someone at home shares your passion, very
Mhm.
often you're sat at home on your own doing it. And like you know, I put colours together and you think, does that look quite right? Like there's no one
Yeah.
to ask there. Like my husband, I love him dearly, but sometimes I will make like this. I made and I put this on, and he was like, "Oh, when did you make that?" And I was like, "Whilst I was sat next to you
Yeah.
over the last month."
Yep. Yep. That's okay. Yeah. We
Which
just
is
keep
fine.
going.
Yeah, which is fine, but yeah, if to meet other people that share that passion and to be able to ask them those questions is so
Right.
lovely.
Right. Yeah. And just to help build your confidence that what you're picking is something that is pleasing to the eye, and it's not just like, making it up, or thinking one thing in your head. So I do want to ask you, what do you have coming up next? I know you said you're working on a couple projects, so maybe you want to share
Oh,
some
I
of
love
that.
Well, so I get carried away as ever with the coaster story. So this stitch that I've used on my mystical tee is a stitch that I have in a fingerless mitten pattern, which is my most popular pattern ever, ever, ever. And I've always thought, why don't I use that stitch more? Because it's really simple. It's just half double crochet stitches in alternating back loop, front loops, third loops. It's so simple, but it gives you so much texture. So and I've had so many requests to have them remade in a different yarn because the yarn that I used isn't really available anymore, and to do a video. So I have made one, and I'm making the video for the other one. So that is coming, and I also might have started a matching hat. So they're both in twill, and they're in this, and so they're coming very soon. So if you make this and then are ready for something for the winter, they'll be ready for you. So they're coming.
Nice.
And I
And so
also,
they're both in twill fingering?
yep, yep, both in the fingering.
Awesome.
And then
Mm.
also in the 12 fingering, because I was like, oh, I just got carried away. It's such a lovely yarn to work with. I was like,
Yes.
oh, cool. I am doing this kind of lacy affair thing here. I'm going for, where should I put it? Across the front. So the plan of this will be a 2-paneled then V-neck top
I love it.
that I think I'm going to put, I don't normally give away this much, but I think I'm going to put sleeves on, but fairly sort of baggy sleeves.
Mhm.
Be quite a dressy, grown up looking evening top is my
Yeah.
idea.
Or I mean, you don't even have to put sleeves on, and then you've got a really nice summer top,
So
and then,
that's
you can make multiple versions of it. Oh, I love that.
so
Yeah.
this
When's
is
that
what
one coming out?
this as soon as I make the other panel, basically. This is what I made on my 10-hour flight home
Oh,
from,
really?
yes. And there was
Nice.
this couple sat next to me, and they literally didn't stop they didn't watch any films or anything. They just watched me crochet.
Ah, that is awesome.
And they were saying, "Oh, you don't see anybody doing that anymore, do you?" I was like, "No, and you should though."
Yes. Yeah. Hey, the plane is like the best spot to get your crochet work in and everything else. So,
Yeah. Although I did get stopped by security with my dot hooks in my case. They
no.
didn't I tell you that? They said, "Madam, you seem to have some sharp, pointy things in your case," when it went to the machine. I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, they're my crochet hooks." They went, "Oh, that's what they are."
I mean, it's kind of sad that people don't know what they are, but you
Yeah,
know,
they looked a bit puzzled. Oh, right.
yeah. Yes, that can happen, but at least they didn't take them away.
Yeah.
Um, oh, there's a comment here. I want to make sure we read this from Christina. She said she was super late to the live and she'll catch the replay, but she wanted to make sure that she said thank you to Hannah for the
Oh,
bauble collection. She made all
oh
21
my
and they're
god.
amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
And for those of you who don't know, Hannah did a baubles collection for the holiday time that you can make all different patterns to the baubles, and your sons were helping you to determine what they were going to be and all kinds of stuff. So you definitely want to check that out. They're great for gift giving and for using up scraps. Like throughout the year, you could whip up a couple when you have some leftover yarn.
yeah.
Really perfect.
And and then now I've had people contacting me say, "Is it still available?" And because they want to get it now, ready to make for this Christmas.
Right.
And so yeah, so that there's a course for it. So it's all color work. There are 3 different color work things, and they're small, easy projects to kind of learn
Mhm.
color work in. So yeah, the ebook and the course is still available. So go grab it.
Yeah. Can they find that on your website or should we put in a separate link?
Oh, you can put in a link. There's but it is on my website, on my homepage. If you scroll down a little bit, there'll be the Baubbling Along collection.
Okay, let me
Got
see if I can quick find it in here. Oh, there it is, bobbling along. So I'm gonna just pull this link and we'll throw it in here real quick just so you guys all have it and you can go check that out as well because I definitely think it's worth it. I need to get on board with that and start learning some color work, but you know, we'll get there one day. Stop making all the amazing patterns, please. No, just kidding. Please keep making them.
I'm already feeling the pressure. My husband said the other day, he was like, "What are you going to do for this Christmas?" Because as soon as it finished, everyone was like, "Right, what do we do next?" And I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
gosh, oh gosh." But
yeah,
I did a blanket crochet along last summer with a course, and I have
yes.
one that's coming up this summer. Uh,
Okay.
may or may not be using Heatherly Sport.
Mhm. Yeah, may or may not. So,
Or
like,
may.
the next time you see Heatherly Sport on sale, maybe you should, grab some.
So yeah, there's lots of things in the works. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so excited about it. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you haven't done it already, go check out Hannah's website, subscribe to her newsletter, follow her on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, subscribe to your channel so that you see it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel too and hit that notification bell because that's how you're going to know every time something new comes up. Hannah's YouTube channel is very different than ours if you're over there. Hers are more pattern focused with her patterns and tips and tutorials for stitches. Over here, we're just kind of like chatting with you for now. Maybe we'll get into some tips and tricks, but we're here to chat. We're here to share all the great designers of the world. But yeah, so there's the link as well for the website. Make sure you go ahead and follow along there so you don't miss out on anything. Be sure to mark your calendars for March 22nd. I think it's right. It's the 22nd. That's 2 Wednesdays. I'm pretty sure that's the date.
Yeah.
It's 2 Wednesdays from now. We'll post it here so that you can see it, but make sure you come back to listen to Hannah and Veronica talk about that great new thing that they're going to be launching because you won't want to miss out on that. And we're going to be back again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, because it's National Crochet Month. And so we're doing a little bit extra every week. We're doing some tips and tricks. Tomorrow, we're talking about color work and corner to corner projects. So if you have any questions, there will be a post tomorrow morning that you can go ahead and put all your questions in it on Instagram. And then we will answer them on the live. So thank you, Hannah, for joining us. Thank you for being a wonderful designer. Thank you for being my friend and for joining all of the wonderful people here. Wow, that was a tongue twister for some reason. And we cannot wait to see what you have coming up soon.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Have a great one, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.